Hey everyone, I'm Darren, aka Southern Mama.
And I'm Red Squirrel.
I'm excited. Well, I tell you, I stayed up late last night, and I'm sure you can probably tell. I look like hammered dog poo.
No, you don't.
You're so sweet. You know, when I tell you that I got tipsy with my tablet last night, you know, I never hardly ever FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I was in one of those moods, like I didn't really want to go anywhere, but I kind of wanted to, I wanted some companionship, so I got my tablet out. And I FaceTime probably 7 different people over a span of like maybe 6 hours, a bottle of wine, a half pack of cigarettes, and I woke up before this podcast, and boy, do I feel so just so good today. We're gonna grow.
Do I need to slap you?
I may need it.
Do I need? I'll slap you.
And I hate to feel this way because we have some really amazing stories. So we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
A lot's happened since the last time we were on here. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I feel like that story's been
slapping.
It's been
beat to death.
It's been beat to death, and
been.
I hate it. But we got to mention it. I just feel like shame on you, Will Smith.
Yes,
I'm Team Chris Rock all the way.
And Chris Rock handled himself. He handled himself.
It made everyone feel so uncomfortable, and it was funny watching like Denzel and Bradley Cooper and all them kind of go to Will's aid, after it happened, like, poor for him. Yeah. And I feel like that was a really stupid decision on their part because I think that they felt like, Will Smith's this, A-list celebrity and, America's definitely going to have his side, only they didn't. The social media the next day, and then taking 3 or 4 days later to apologize, and I just thought was just so. Anyway.
I think Will Smith's dealing with some demons.
Yeah, I think he's got we all deal with stuff. We're all sinners and stuff like that. Hopefully he'll get it worked out. We're praying for him and the family, but I think he's got a broken family. I mean, you're going to get mad at somebody. We got some really cool stories coming up. You got to break this one out first. This first story.
Oh my! All right, so I don't know if y'all have heard about this yet. We just got home from flying.
We did.
Southwest airline passenger arrested and banned for allegedly masturbating midair. Flight was from Seattle to Phoenix, and Antonio McGarity was sitting next to a female passenger. Began to pleasure himself. Pulled down his his pants. Began to pleasure himself shortly after takeoff.
Wow.
We're in the air. We're good. Yeah. She got photo evidence of him in the act. She also alleged that she saw him lick his fingers clean at one point. Now, he did this 4 times.
Oh.
4 times over an hour, on the flight. And he used his left and right hand. Boy, she certainly
She got all the details.
She got all the details.
She got all the details.
He fell asleep and then let's push the little button. Alerted the flight attendant. She alerted the flight attendant after he fell asleep. I guess he was tired. And
I would be.
Could you move me? And so they moved her to another seat. Well, when interviewed by the FBI, he said he thought that she wouldn't mind. He thought it was kind of kinky. McGarity said he asked the female passenger before they took off, hey man, mind if I masturbate? And she threw her hands up in the air and said, really didn't matter. I guess she was like, ha ha, whatever. And so, he proceeded to do that once they got up in the air. Now, if it were me, once the man pulled out his penis, I would kind of go, excuse me, I would immediately be pressing that button.
I think the first red flag would be when somebody looks at you and goes, hey, do you mind if I jack off? It's a long flight to Cincinnati, and man, I tell you, I'm really backed up. Do you mind if I strum the old weasel? If I beat the old flashlight? You know what I mean? If I strum the old skin flute? That would be the first red flag. That would be when you want to call the stewardess over.
And go,
when he says, hey, do you mind if I masturbate? I've had many people, we have flown many miles, and we went to a lot of cities.
Do you mind if I turn on my air?
Been
do you
on
mind
a lot
if I use your air?
Been on a lot of flights. Been asked a lot of things. Hey, can I get, you want a piece of gum? Or can I have a piece of gum? Do you have a tissue?
Yeah.
Are you going to eat those crackers? But never once have I had a gentleman say, hey, you mind if I masturbate? do you mind if I skin the old salami? I tell you, that would have
No,
been...
but what gets me is he's doing it with his left and right hands, licking his fingers and everything. And
that's another thing.
She's like,
what a mess it must have been.
I mean,
A double fister and a lick.
I mean, she's taking big. I mean, like.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why he was probably like, she's getting off on this, Like,
well, he asked her, hey, you mind if I whoop my rod? And she was like, it don't matter to me. And not only once this man did it, not only twice, this guy is doing this beside this woman. A third time, he whips it out again. He's like, you know what? We're going to paint the walls. And then even a fourth time. No wonder he took a nap. He was literally drained of all of his bodily fluid. This guy, I mean... My thing, of course he beat off that many times because, A, she said she didn't mind, and the second, she liked it. She's filming him.
I'm sorry, but I'm pushing the button immediately and going, hey, this flight may be full, but could you find me a seat?
I'm not saying what he did was okay. That's terrible. But let me ask you this. What if you were a stage 5 creepo, all right, and you look over at one of your fellow pastors, like, hey, you mind if I jack off? And she's like, hell, why not? And you got to start doing it. And what does she do? She pulls out her phone. So, and if you've ever flown in a plane before,
you're right. I mean,
you are right. I mean,
here.
Especially these commercial flights.
Yeah.
And she's filming.
So I mean, and you're almost. So I mean, it's he like,
that's what I'm saying. You know, like, hey,
I mean, sir,
I'm not even gonna do the movement because I know that we could get flagged for that. So I'm not. But I mean, definitely. And he had to have known that she was
turbulence.
He had to have known. He had to have known that she was filming him. It ain't like you can hide behind a screen. It's like you can pull a.
No.
So he's getting filmed. She's already said she don't mind it. He's on round 3 and 4, and nobody's caught. So of course that's what he thought. My thing is, she had to have enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She had to have enjoyed it. And this guy's like, this is never going to happen again. This is one of my fantasies. I'm going to go ahead and I'm bringing out the national championship. You know what I mean?
As soon as she got off the plane, the FBI was there, waiting, questioned her. She was like, here, I've got it all on my phone right here, showing them and everything. And they questioned him about it. And he was
here he is jacking off. Look at him. 2 fists. And then watch, wait a minute, he licks them. Watch him looking. Will you just look at this? I feel like Ed Bassmaster. Would you just look at this?
No, I'm going to keep this on my phone. I'm going to keep it for evidence. Oh, wank. But anyway, and so then they start questioning him, and he's like, yeah.
I mean, she told me it was cool, and hell, I even let her film it.
Kinky,
I mean,
anyway.
I mean, what's the problem, officer?
The passenger is now on a no-fly list and facing federal charges involving lewd, indecent, and obscene acts on aircraft.
I think you should get away scot-free. Hey, with an invitation like that, I
think Phil has pulled up a picture of him.
I'm sure Phil has. I tell you, that was
anyway,
what a story.
What a story. He gets the finger, or maybe she gets the finger wag.
I think she was definitely wagging fingers while he was licking his clean.
Should not have allowed that to continue. First of all, speak up. Use your words, lady. Use your words.
Don't judge me for my search history later.
Oh my God!
Phil's search history is going to be quite
oh boy,
masturbating on plane.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway.
Pretty graphic.
All right. Hey.
Yeah. Well.
It's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday.
It is Wet Your Whistle Wednesday.
Wet Wednesday, since it's gonna be raining here again in Alabama.
Yeah, we got some bad weather. It's that time of year, and I felt like I say that every episode. Like it's that time of year. Yeah. It's always that time of year around here. Damn it, I don't remember how to.
You don't remember your password?
I really don't. I think that's it. Oh
nope.
Gosh.
Dun, 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 dun,
Well, keep talking.
Dun.
Entertain them. I don't know.
Anyway, so maybe she needs the wag of the finger. I mean, stand up for yourself and go, no, this is not right.
Okay, so this next story is pretty crazy. Woman's got what she thought was a urinary tract infection. So she goes to the doctor. Now, she had went to the doctor previously multiple different times for this same situation. It's not uncommon. for women to get these sometimes. And so she goes and, wow, she's really having a problem with this particular urinary tract infection. And so the doctor looks in a little bit deeper, and it is crazy what they find. A glass tumbler. Now, I didn't know what a tumbler was. A tumbler, it's almost kind of like a shot glass, but it's a little bit bigger. It's a glass. It's a glass. I mean, it's like a whole glass. You're probably seeing pictures of this now. A glass tumbler has been found inside a woman's bladder who doctors thought had a urinary tract infection. According to the New York Post, the 45-year-old woman had come to the hospital complaining of UTI symptoms. Doctors were left stunned when scans revealed there was a glass inside of her bladder. It was encased by 8 centimeters wide of like a bladder stone. So her body had started to, wrap this thing up, kind of like a pearl and a piece of sand and a pearl and a clam. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is,
But in her bladder.
In her bladder, which are normally so small that they're hard to see. So a small, tiny little bladder stone. Mm. This cup was surrounded by this y'all. The woman from
Tunisia?
I don't know, revealed she had used the drinking glass as a sex toy a number of years ago. While she's using this, out of all the things that she could have, out of all the things, she used this.
Gee willikers, where did that glass go that I was... lost that tumbler.
She had inserted into the urethra the hole from which females urinate.
Rather
than the vagina, yes. So that's how it made it all the way to the bladder.
That hole is like...
Yeah, it's tiny.
Teeny, tiny.
Her case was published in the medical journal. I mean, and this thing had been up in there for years. 4 years, I believe. Yes. And that's the whole story. How do you, I've heard of losing her car keys in the house. I've heard of, misplacing. Hell, I've even heard of people leaving their remote control in the refrigerator. That's actually a very common place for that.
I've heard of people going to the emergency room with things stuck up their orifices.
Yeah, like dildos and stuff, but I've never heard of kitchenware.
In your urethra.
For 4 years in your bladder.
How did that, if that was a glass...
And how did
it not break?
And I know that we do. There's so many questions. I want to ask her. Maybe she was drinking or under the influence of a controlled substance of some kind. But my thing is that the next morning when you're walking around like, damn. Damn.
I'm having a hard time walking.
There's a pressure down there, right? And every time I piss, I feel like I'm looking at I feel like I'm having to fill the cup up halfway full before it comes out. I mean, talk about, looking at life half full on the light.
Yeah.
That blows me away. But that did happen. A woman had a whole glass lost inside of her beep, and for 4 years. That's another thing that's crazy. A, she was able to get it up in her urethra. B, it made it all the way to the bladder, right?
Yeah.
And she was still able to urinate.
Yeah.
C, it was up there for like 4 years.
Yeah.
And then like D or 4 or whatever I'm doing at this point, it was massive, this thing.
Yes.
The cup was like this tall, that big around, and it had been that
big.
Yes.
And if you go to the gynecologist, you get a checkup, you get the fingers and the pushing, and and my gynecologist gets up there and like pushes on my bladder and all, like, and feeling the organs and everything,
No, I don't, but I'm listening.
But how in the world?
I don't know.
She could not have had
how big was that thing? And I'm not talking about the cup here. For her to...
Your urethra is about the size of the end
Not
of
hers.
your hand.
Not hers. That's what I'm saying.
Your urethra, just a little teeny there's a lot of holes down there. And you kind of got to, you got your urethra, or your little pee hole, then your hoo-ha hole, and then your bung hole. And so your urethra, teeny tiny. Just like a little, teeny.
I don't know how she didn't feel it. That's what I'm saying. Like the next day, how did she be like, I think I put a whole cup inside my pussy last night. Did I get that out of there?
Where was that drink glass that I was drinking from last night?
Where is that shot glass?
my
I found the
favorite glass.
scotch, but where'd the glass go?
Speaking of, let's drink.
I don't think I
Wet your
need any
whistle.
more ever again in my life. Wait, Wednesdays.
Oh God, that was terrible.
Give us another one, Squirrel.
This is a cute little animal story.
Oh,
Dog gives birth to rare bright green bulldog puppy in confusing surprise. Yeah. Most professional dog breeders and veterinarians will go their entire careers without ever witnessing a puppy born with bright green fur. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It's extremely, extremely rare. All right, so they have these bulldogs, okay? They breed them. All right, they go for a little ultrasound at the vet. Everything's great and wonderful. Like clockwork, Freya, that's the dog's name, goes into labor. She starts having 7 puppies like clockwork, just boop, 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 20, 25 minutes apart. She, gives birth to all of them. They start bathing the dog and the puppies and everything taken care of. Oh no, she was still in labor. All right, but this delivery was different from the others. The puppy was born in a black amniotic sac. Was different from the other
demon
puppies.
dog.
Yeah, they thought that there was something wrong with the last puppy and that it could be stillborn. But then the sac started moving. Okay, the newborn pup made small noises and movements. They, took her out of the sack, cleaned her up, and the puppy's fur was green. I mean, like green. They started Googling what in the world's going on. They found out that it's very rare, but it happens a few times. It's actually the bile. A green pigmented bile while in the mother's uterus. And it happens in about 1 in 10,000 puppies.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not terribly uncommon then, because hell, there's that many puppies being born every day in this country.
Well, and now the puppy will change color as it grows.
Cute.
But they were like, okay, we've got this puppy. What can we name it?
Seemed like I seen a story about that one time, a lot kind of similar to that, and it was the same scenario. The liver, the bile had gotten in the amniotic sac or something to that effect.
And so of course people were like Kermit, Yoda, Hulkette, Pistachio, Wasabi, but they decided on Fiona from Shrek.
Oh.
She's healthy, happy, and still a little green, but that will fade with time.
That is just a precious story.
A cute little story, that little puppy.
And
I hope Phil pulls up a picture.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
So cute.
Our next story is animal story too.
Yeah.
This is a really cool story. You threw me onto this story, and I thought it was really interesting. I think you guys will like it too. A flamingo who escaped a Kansas zoo 17 years ago just turned up on the Texas coast. This is a really cool story. A Tanzanian flamingo number 492, alias name Pink Floyd, he's been called now, flew the coop in 2005 shortly after he arrived in Kansas as part of a shipment of 30 flamingos from Tanzania. Typically, zookeepers trim the adult flamingo's feathers annually to make it more difficult for the birds to fly away, but in June of 2005, before Pink Floyd could get his annual trim, he made a break for it along with another flamingo. He had an accomplice, and they both got out of the zoo. They stuck around the Wichita area for a few months, but after that, they took flight. One went north, the other one went south. The other one's presumed dead from the Michigan winters. But Pink Floyd went south, and he's been seen now in several different states. In 2007, he was spotted along a Louisiana ship channel, and he recruited a new partner in crime, a Caribbean flamingo, which probably blew ashore on the Gulf Coast with Hurricane Katrina or Hurricane Rita in 2005, it's been presumed. Yeah, so you got a friend out there. Wildlife officials have spotted Pink Floyd a few more times over the years since, but he's been kind of off the radar for the last couple of years. Late in March, though, witnesses spotted Pink Floyd loitering on the beach near Port Lavaca, Texas, in the company of a flock of seagulls. So he's lost his accomplice from the Caribbean, but
Right.
he's hanging out. He's just kind of doing his thing, man. Texas Park and Wildlife and the Sedgwick County Zoo say they plan to let Pink Floyd continue living on the lam. Escaped zoo
my
animals
gosh.
sometimes run a risk, as they are an invasive species. But considering one flamingo, they don't really consider it that harmful to the environment, which I concur completely. I don't think that
Right.
he's going to be doing any harm. But let me tell you, this thing is really cool. Pink Floyd is 27 years old, and it's estimated, it says here that flamingos can live between 40 and 70 years.
That is crazy.
That's a long time.
That is a very
That's a long time. I mean, that is a long time. The birds are not common in the United States. However, they can and have been seen sometimes in South Florida. Other than that, they're not found anywhere else, in North America. So it's pretty cool. This thing has survived. Pretty cool story. We got some
From
big eagles.
Kansas to
Going to Kansas, Texas. This thing has been seen in multiple different states. But
and
yeah,
not to have been killed.
not to
or,
be killed and to survive. But also, like, what I thought was cool too is like, this thing is like, he travels a lot. It ain't like he, like if you, like these peacocks out here, if you keep them cooped up for a couple weeks, feed them and water them, you turn them loose, they're gonna stay here in the yard.
Right.
Now, of course, they go to the neighbors and stuff like that, but they don't fly to Mississippi and hang, so they got a large span that this guy has survived for that many years. So, really cool story.
With a name like Pink Floyd, though,
You can't go wrong.
he's got to be cool.
He's got to be. He has got to be cool. And I hope the other one is out there. That we're going to believe that he's safe out there somewhere too. I'm Darren Knight, a.k.a. Southern Mama.
And I'm Red Squirrel.
And until next time, y'all have a good one. Stay blessed. We love you much.
Love you. Mwah.